see. Did you get to see one of the bosses earlier? It was like legit scary. Like the first time I did Shaper, maybe I was scared a little bit, but like I don't know. Game feels terrific in beta. Who... I think you have to take people's opinions, they're fucking crazy, dude. I wasn't doing a boss area on this one, but let me go do one. We'll go do one here. If you don't mind hanging around for like 10 minutes, I'll grind over to where a boss is. Laggy. Okay, I'm sorry. That was just a yellow mob. That was just a yellow mob that was not a fucking boss. If you don't freak out about the potential of this game based on that shit right there, I'm fucking telling you, it is insane. Like, this game stands so far apart from the other games, it's not funny. And you don't run into those guys too terribly often, but that was a yellow version of a fucking... Like I said, there are mobs in this game that you run into in the regular world that feel like bosses. So, in the alpha, and there's a lot of this trash mob stuff too, and as a ranger I try to stay as far fucking back from that stuff as I can. You can die, sir. Shit. So like when people ask me about this game and the differences, like, okay, this feels kind of like the first time that I played PUBG, and like you get like that adrenaline race and you're like, oh my god, what the fuck is happening? Okay, I can assume that those kind of instances with those types of bosses are not gonna make me freak out as much later on. But right now, that shit, dude, crazy. In an ARPG game, aside from maybe Butcher in D2 and maybe Mephisto, No other bosses have made me feel that way. Shaper, Elder, Uber Elder, any of that stuff in Path of Exile, certainly nothing in Diablo 3 made me feel like that, and that was a regular mob that you'll run into anywhere. You have mechanics like this thing. You actually have to dodge mechanics. Like stuff like that. It's an experience that you don't get. Like in Path of Exile, you have to play for 3 weeks in order to run into into something like that. I mean, I would argue that some of the bosses in the story were okay, but you ran into maybe what, 12 or 13 of those the entire leveling experience? Ah, you stepped on my mines, bro. Oh shit, I almost hit me with that. I take that back. One of the other ones that scared me in B2 was Izual. When he comes like running after you. That was scary as fuck. But lately, I haven't felt that in a game. Like on this style of a game. Yeah, I mean, you see the potential wasted, like Anthem, on a simpler scale, more of a reactive ARPG as opposed to having the massive RPG elements like ARPGs do, and MMOs, that kind of thing. Oh fuck! Walk through my traps there, buddies. Sorry. It's hard. This is actually difficult to stream. Because I keep having... Like Path of Exile, you can like mindlessly... Oh shit. Again. Another yellow one. It's a blue one. Blue one this time. Oh no, I'm not dead. Dude, I still thought I was dead there. Holy shit. It is. Why is it not hitting the... Oh, I don't like those. Ouch. Okay, so to go along with that, it does have a stat system. You do have to put your points in here, but if you pay attention closely, you can see that these give you a flat increase in damage, so putting points in here is not going to give you flat damage. Okay? But these attributes not only give you stuff like crit, health regen, health resistances. I mean, look at all this stuff. Look at, you actually have to think about where you're putting your points. Now, with the freezing thing, I actually have to put points in wisdom in order to get my freeze chance up. So you have to think about that kind of stuff, and that's where... Ah! Wow. That's a white... That's a white version of the same thing that we've been fighting. It's insane, dude. Come on, where's the boss at? Oh my god. So, they hired... They hired someone specifically for the story, and I know most places do that, but... I'm going to show you something here in just a second, as soon as I get to the boss, that will tell you that the story will at least be fun, with a little bit of serious mixed in. Shit, that's it. I was telling you, that's a regular boss. That's not a boss. That's a regular guy. Okay. We need to clear Arctic Spear. That's what I haven't seen. That sounds like an alpha. Oh. Ouch, that hurt. Okay, so we're getting to a boss. Okay, what's gonna happen here? Do you see this cluster of elites? I'm gonna try to get kind of close. And a couple of these. Oh, fucking shit. Okay. This guy's fucking badass. So this is a boss level character of a normal thing that you run into. So you can still run into these in the free world. But this is a boss version of it. Okay, you can see... Yeah. Get away. Get away. Get away. I don't have any dodging left. Ouch, just hit me for half of my health. Ouch. Oh my god. Oh my god, 25 health. Shit. I'm so dead. Dead. Get away, get away, get away. Fuck, dude. I made my gear. I just made this guy today. I mean, it just came out today. There's legendaries that you can find that are orange. I haven't found one yet. They're really rare. The only difference between them and a regular item is they get an additional stat. So like min-maxing takes a lot, but getting a working build doesn't take a lot. Okay, well that guy was pretty easy. Hey, so those guys weren't bosses. Those were just elites that were with him. They happen to be really easy elites. Sometimes they are not. I had in the last one, I had like one of the alphas that I fought at the very beginning, and then I had an actual, like, there are legitimate bosses that you run into. But yeah, so when I say yeah, there's nothing that I've seen in Last Epoch that feels like this yet. They have potential. They listen to the people giving input on the game. That potential is there. It is already here in this game. Shit goes crazy. It you can close it out like a quest. So it's a random item, like in this case, a pretty good staff. And then I can choose between two shit items, apparently. And then the further into it you go, the better the rewards. Or the higher level rewards, I should say. You still have RNG, you could still get absolute shit, but